Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the latest Rebels Radio, brought to you by our two sponsors, myfootballclub.co.uk. They have a new website. I think if you look up My Football Club or My FC and Pichero, you should find that's a free website. You don't have to be a member to join that. And of course, our other sponsors are the Slough Town Supporters Trust. And on behalf of everyone involved, we wish you have had a very merry Christmas, and you've most probably, like everyone, has eaten too much, drunk too much, and watched a load of rubbish on the telly. So what better thing to do than to get some football? So no Boxing Day fixture here for the Rebels, but they are back at Beaconsfield as we visit Hayes&Yeading in this Evo-Stick Southern Premier League match on the 27th of December. Some big crowds around yesterday. The biggest crowd of the season so far in the Evo-Stick Southern Premier. Used to belong to Slough, but it now belongs to Dorchester versus Weymouth in front of an impressive 2,033 fans yesterday. It's a good turnout there. You will not be getting that here today, but it is quite a busy day. We'll run through the two teams with you. First of all, we'd like to thank everybody who donated some toys and presents for the toy appeal that Slough Town were running. It was very successful last Thursday, and some of the players and the management went down to the hospital and gave out some presents. They were gratefully received, so a huge thank you on behalf of everyone involved with the football club for the toy appeal. It was ever so well received, and I'm sure that something like that will be done in the future. And also just to let you know that next game for the Rebels will be at Arbour Park on the 2nd of January, so you can have a bit of a late night on New Year's Eve and have a whole day to recover before you go to Arbour Park, as we welcome Chesham, who are on a very good run. And that'll be an interesting game, the first one of 2017. And there's going to be a very busy January for everybody, so we hope everything goes well. And if you do want to get in contact with us here at Rebels Radio, two ways that you can do it. You can do it either through Twitter, and on Twitter it's at MyFC Rebels Radio, all in small casing, and that will come through to us. We'll give you a shout out of where you are. I know some of you can't make it, unfortunately, because you've got family bits to do. And the other way that you can contact us, if you are listening on your laptop or computer on YouTube, if you scroll down the page, you should find a bit that says comments. There's a little chat room. There'll be other people on there. Stephen Roach is on there. Good afternoon, Stephen. Has had a good Christmas, and we hope that Slough will get the 3 points here, just to keep them around the second place position. Yesterday's results meant that Leamington drew at home to Stratford. Hitchin and Murph are both won, which put them above us. Chippenham drew, so they're above us, all on 49 points apart from Leamington. Slough on 49 points. For Hitchin are on 52, my apologies. So if Slough win today, they will go above Hitchin and back into second place. And if they win those 3 games in hand, they will be above Leamington. So that's how it looks in the league after yesterday's. Thank you, mate. That's really clever. Okay. And so that's how it looks after yesterday's fixture. So I'll run through the teams quickly with you. A couple of bits of apologies as the sun is just trying to settle over the... if you've ever been to Beaconsfield, there's a set of trees opposite the press box. The sun's just starting to settle over there. So at the moment it's a little bit difficult to see through. But I'm going to give you the teams. There's no actual computer printout, so it's just some handwritten note. So I'm going to start with the home side today, which is Hayes&Yeading. In goal for them is Dan Bowness. 2, making his home debut, is Jack Smith. 3, Callum Adibaye. He's also making his home debut. 4 is Connor Toomey. 5 is Tom Broadbent, who's captain. 6 is Darren Locke. 7 is Melando Martin. 8 is ex-Rebel Ryan Hope. 9 is Mitchell Weiss. 10 is Josh Hutchinson. And 11 is Terence Carter. Substitutes for Hayes&Yeading: 12, Dylan Kearney. Goalkeeper is Chris Benton, wearing 13. 14 is Adam Everett. 15 is James Taylor. And 16 is Cole Brown for the Rebels. In goal is Mark Scott, 2, and captain Sean Fraser. 3 is Paul Stonehouse. 4, Guy Hollis. 5 is Mark Nisbet. 6, Lee Togwell. 7, James Dobson. 8 Simon Dunn, 9 is Chris Flood, 10 is Charlie Moon, and 11 is Lewis Putman. Substitutes for the Rebels are 12 Josh Jackman, 14 is Dan Hicks, 15 is Warren Harris, 16 is Gavin James, and a welcome return to the Rebel lineup just for a couple of games over Christmas is the one and only Charlie Empire. He will be wearing 17. So those are your two sides. I'll read those out again. And we'll also give you today's referee is Mr. Marcus Carmichael, and his assistants are Alistair Higgs and Andy Bennett. The two sides are coming out a little bit early here. Hayes&Yeading are in red shirts, black shorts and white socks. Slough are in their away kit of the light blue, so very much like a Lazio. And you'll see a few other teams in this league as Macron are the sponsors in that, seeing that light blue kit. So the players are just going through their routines. So just to remind you that the game on the 2nd, I've got a funny feeling it's Monday. I'm not really too good with dates. You know, it's like when you've had too much to drink and you can't remember what day it is. It's the 2nd of January. It's a 3 o'clock kickoff as usual. And please look at the website there for updates on the parking situation for that game. Remember, there's very limited parking at Arbour Park, and we suggest that if you haven't been and you haven't got a voucher to park in St Joseph's School, then there are plenty of parking spaces around in the car parks. As I just see a couple of the injured Rebels in Gherkin Gockman and Nathan Smart just taking their place in front of us here. The players are just going for a little bit of a routine here as the referee awaits to see what is going on. And what we'll do is we'll run through those two teams with you again. Let's start with our hosts. In goal is Dan Bowness, 2 Jack Smith, 3 is Callum Adebayi, 4 Connor Toomey, 5 Tom Broadbent, 6 Darren Locke, 7 is Melondo Martin, 8 is Ryan Hope, 9 is Mitchell Weiss, 10 is Josh Hutchinson, and 11 is Terence Carter. Substitutes for Hayes&Yeading are 12 Dylan Kearney, 13 is goalkeeper Chris Benton, 14 Adam Everett, 15 is James Taylor, and 16 is Cole Brown. For the Rebels, Mark Scott is in goal, 2 is Sean Fraser, 3 Paul Stonehouse, 4 Guy Hollis, 5 is Mark Nisbet, 6 is Lee Togwell, 7 is James Dobson, 8 is Simon Dunn, 9 is Chris Flood, 10 is Charlie Moon, and 11 is Lewis Putman. Substitutes for the Rebels: Josh Jackman wears 12, 14 is Dan Hicks, 15 is Warren Harris, 16 Gavin James, and 17 is Charlie Empire. So the referee's a little bit on the ball today. We're a couple of minutes before 3 o'clock, but he seems to be ready. And both teams will just go into a huddle. Slough will be shooting from left to right in this first half. Obviously here the away side, but very used to this ground here, obviously for ground sharing for many years. And we look like we're going to be kicking off almost a little bit early. So if you haven't already tuned in, you're maybe going to miss the start of the game as we wait for the referee, Mr. Carmichael, just to make sure. Looks like Hayes&Yeading have the kickoff, as the Slough fans behind the goal start to make a little bit of noise. It does look as though Hayes&Yeading have the kickoff. It's the Slough fans just in good voice here. Makes a change. We're just waiting for the referee to... There you go, and that is the start of the game. Hayes&Yeading have the ball with Hope. Spreads it on the far hand side. Well spotted by Dobson. Dobson running with the ball. Cuts inside to Flood. Flood back towards Dobson, but overhit and cleared there by Smith. But ball only comes as far as Stonehouse. Up towards Dobson. Dobson flicks it back heel style like Mkhitaryan to try and get past Smith. Ball. Quick throw in here to Diamond Dunn. Dunn cuts it back. It's all cut out well there by Ryan Hope, as it just burst into the box, and it's cleared by Hayes&Yeading. Up here to Weiss. Weiss does well, holds the ball up well, and then a lofted ball over the top here, looking for a run back, and it's a good defensive tackle there by Sean Fraser as Martin looks to get through. It's come back out here to Weiss. Weiss plays it in here to Martin. Martin up against Guy Hollis, and Martin does well, wins the ball back by the byline, puts the ball into the box, but only a car as far as Simon Dunn, and Dunn looks for the quick ball over the top, trying to find the runner Chris Flood, but Darren Locke plays it back to his goal. Oh, and a poor touch here by the goalkeeper. Not the best of pitches here That's Beaconsfield, as Slough well know, and Smith can't keep it in, and it's out for a throw. Halfway inside the Beaconsfield half, a little bit of a bobble there, takes the ball away from Bowness. And it's a throw on the far hand side. Paul Stonehouse takes quick throw to Dobson. Back towards Stonehouse. In towards Dobson. Dobson just closed down there by Ryan Hope. Hope trying to bring the ball down. Plays a ball over the top, but over the top of everyone, and goes straight through to Slough goalkeeper Mark Scott, who's the Jolly Green Giant today in his all luminous green kit. As he launches a long ball forward, trying to find Flood. Flood beaten to the ball by Locke. Comes through as far as Hollis. Hollis plays the ball down and comes in towards Toomey. Toomey plays the ball over and Vice is in an offside position. And it will be a free kick to the Rebels. And it'll be a few yards inside. They take it quickly here to Fraser. Fraser with the ball down again, trying to find Flood. Headed away by Adibayi. Comes here to Martin. Martin does well. Good control. Back into Toomey. Toomey's ball only comes as far as Fraser. Fraser plays the ball in. Just overruns it. Comes through to Ryan Hope. Hope trying to flick the ball into Martin. Martin plays a little bit of backheel into the path of Hope. And then a ball played there looking for Mitchell Weiss. But again, a little bit too much on it there. And it goes through to Mark Scott in the Slough goal. And Scott just rolls the ball a few feet outside the penalty box, and again plays a long ball down, this time trying to find Dobson. Dobson does well to get a flick on, but can't keep the ball in play. It's out for a throw on that far hand side to Hayes&Yeading. Looks like there is a cameraman here, so you may well be able to see some edited highlights sometime during the week. You mostly have to go onto the Hayes&Yeading website to find those. Quick throw taken in, comes through on the far hand side, and the referee's appealed for a foul, and it's been given for a foul on Carter. So free kick to Hayes&Yeading, a couple of yards inside the Slough half. Ryan Hope standing over this free kick. As Hayes&Yeading just send forward the two centre-backs in Broadbent and Locke. Slough with some defending to do here. So it's free kick on the right-hand side by the away dugger. Taken quickly along the floor to Vice. Vice will turn, then tries to chip the ball over, and then a good header there by Nisbet, then cleared by Togwell, but Togwell's clearance is a sideways one, and it's gone out for a throw, almost level with the 18-yard line for Hayes&Yeading. Hayes&Yeading starting this game with a bit of pressure, just waiting for a long throw, looks like to come in from Smith on his home debut. As this time he takes a quick throw, trying to find Hutchinson. Hutchinson rolls the ball out. It's come out off the Slough player. It's a corner to Hayes&Yeading. And it will be Martin that go across to take this free kick for Hayes. And it'll be an in-swinging corner. Taken quickly towards Carter. Carter will play the ball back to Martin. Martin takes a touch, comes a bit further away from goal, then tries to play the ball in. It's gone all the way through. It'll come through, and it's cleared in the end by Hollis, only as far as Martin, 30 yards away from goal. Spreads it on this near hand side to Locke. Locke with a step over, trying to play it into Martin, who continued his run down this near hand side up against Togwell. Togwell goes down. Shot comes in from Martin, and Scott saves, and then Slough clear, but it's gone out for a corner. And Slough under some early pressure here from the side, sitting in 23rd position here, but they've started well. And it's a call on this near hand side, and it will be taken by Ryan Hope. Just waiting for a couple of people, late arrivals, just to sit down. Ball goes in far post, and appeals for a penalty there by Hayes&Yeading, but the ball goes all the way out and out for a goal kick, as people decide they want to sit in a different chair. And so the game will restart with a goal kick to Slough. 5 minutes gone here at Holloways Park. 0-0 is the score. As Scott with this long ball forwards, trying to find Flood. Flood gets a flick on, only as far as Smith. Smith with the ball forwards, headed away by Nisbet. Comes through to Putmans. Putmans' first touch, flicks the ball high up, headed away by Broadbent, and flicked on by Carter. Comes through to Nisbet. Nisbet beaten to the ball by Hutchinson. Hutchinson goes down injured. Both players are injured here, and the ref should be stopping the game, and he does indeed stop the game. Hutchinson and Nisbet both get a clash of heads there, and Nisbet's just walking away, just trying to regain his senses. Hutchinson's on the floor, and I think he's actually hurt his ankle as he landed, not from a head injury. So just see how that goes. Now, normally we'd give you updates on the games, but obviously they were all played yesterday, so no updates to give you, unfortunately. So we'll have to just see how it goes here. Hutchinson's still getting treatment. This bit seems to be fine, so just some treatment for the Hayes&Yeading number 10. So again, if you do want to get in contact with us here at Rebels Radio, you can do it via Twitter. It's at MightFC Rebels Radio, or if you're listening via your laptop, your computer, if you scroll down on YouTube, you have to be a subscriber, but there's a thing, and you can send a comment through. And looks like we're seeing the very first substitution here. Hutchinson being Hutchinson being helped off here. He's being carried off, and I don't think you're going to see him for the rest of the game. Are we going to see the substitution now, or no one's come on yet? I don't think the Hayes&Yeading player is ready, but we shall see. It's just Slough. I think we're just going to wait to see what the referee decides to do with this ball, and he lets Hayes&Yeading kick it back to Mark Scott. So no substitution at the moment for Hayes&Yeading, so temporarily down to 10 men. And Mark Scott with the ball. He's about 25 yards outside of his box. Long ball down, aimed again towards Dobson. Dobson does well to flick the ball on. It comes into the box to Flood. Flood in towards Moon. Moon just robbed there by Hope, and Hope does well to just go past Flood and then clears the ball long, and it will go out of play. And there we will see the substitution. So that substitution is going to be Dylan Kearney coming on and Hutchinson going off, and that substitution on 8 minutes. So that's your substitution, is Dylan Kearney on for Hutchinson. And the game will restart with a throw for Slough on the halfway line. Paul Stonehouse will take this throw. Just again, trying to find the run of Flood. It will come through here to Moon. Moon heads it off Smith. He's trying to get to the ball back, but it's Locke who's got the ball, and in the end it's cleared by his captain. Broadbent. Only comes as far as Fraser's. Fraser's ball only comes as far as Mitchell Weiss. Weiss tries to play the ball through. It comes through to Kearney. Kearney up against Fraser. Kearney still got the ball. Plays it out here to Martin's just trod on the ball, and it's given two Slough players in Togwell and Putman a chance to come back, but Martin still running down that side. Togwell come across to help clear, and Martin still got it, but it's cleared in the end by Fraser. Only as far as Ryan Hope. Hope shoots from distance, and it's forced a save from Mark Scott. It bounced just in front of him, and Scott did well just to get a hand to that, and was able to get to the rebound before a Hayes&Yeading player. Quick there by Mark Scott, but he's overhit that one a little bit, and it's out for a throw. Taken quickly by Smith, hooked on by Hope, only as far as Stonehouse. Ball comes through, and it comes off Kearney for a throw to the Rebels. And Stonehouse will take it 10 yards inside his own half. Ball played in. One here by Simon Dunn. Dunn flicks it forwards, trying to find Charlie Moon. Moon's offside. And just as everyone was getting a little bit excited there, Moon had just gone into a slight offside position. It was a tight decision, but the correct decision there. And it's a free kick to Hayes&Yeading, 5 yards outside their penalty area, which will be taken by the goalkeeper, Bonus. Bonus in an orange goalkeeping top and black shorts as he plays a long ball forwards, trying to find Vice. It's headed clear by Nisbet, comes through to Togwell. Togwell now spreads it into the path of Putman. Putman here up against Adebayo, but Adebayo is first to the ball and gets there and clears for Hayes&Yeading, and it's a throw to Slough on the halfway line on this near hand side. And Fraser just waiting for some movement. Plays the ball long. It's come flicked on well by Putman, but it's headed clear by Adebayo into Ryan Hope. He's given the ball away here to Dunn. Dunn spreads it here to Dobson. Dobson looks up, tries to chip a ball in, and it's just over the top of the crossbar. Just tried to chip the goalkeeper from about 25 yards, just over the head of both Bonus and the crossbar, and goes out for a goal kick. So 10 and 11 minutes played now. Still 0-0 here. And Bonus will take this goal kick for Hayes. Aims long to this near hand side, straight out of play, straight into the crowd, and bounces off the seat, and it's a throw to the Rebels. And Sean Fraser will stand over this throw for Slough. 10 yards inside the Hayes half again. Chips the ball forwards, headed off Martin. It's come out for another throw. Slough just advancing another 15 yards into the box. Quick throw here to Dunn. Dunn flicking the ball on here, trying to find the run of Charlie Moon. Cleared by Broadbent. Hits Ryan Hope and comes through. Togwell wins it back for Slough. Picked up here by Dunn towards Fraser. Fraser just plays the ball into Putman. Putman cuts inside. Looks to chip the ball in. Takes the bobble. Aims towards Flood. Flood can't get there. In fact, he's pushed Broadbent in the back, and it's a free kick to Hayes&Yeading. But pitch having a bit of an influence here. As a couple of little bobbles have put the goalkeepers in a bit of problem, and Putman, as he took that one, he just hit a little bobble. Kick here by Bonus, looking for Vice. It's been a foul by Mark Nisbet, so it's a free kick to Hayes&Yeading, just inside the D of the centre circle. Well, no, it's not a D, but it's a D in our half. If that's what I meant. So it's inside the centre circle, inside the Slough half. And again, Ryan Hope stands over it again. Hayes&Yeading send forwards numbers 5 and 6, Broadbent and Locke. And make a little run there by Toomey, but Ryan Hope still just yet to take this free kick. Chips the ball into the box. Its headed goal was by Broadbent, and it's been kept alive by Vice, and then the shot comes in from Locke. It's come off a Slough player. It's another corner here to Hayes&Yeading, and Hayes&Yeading with this early pressure with another corner. And again, Ryan Hope will take this one. It's a near side corner, so again in swinging corner for Hayes, and they leave the two centre backs forwards. Let's just wait for this corner to come in. And it goes into the box, and Mark's got under pressure, drops the ball, and then he comes and claims it, then gets fouled. Surely he does. Gets fouled at the second attempt to jump in there as a Hayes&Yeading player. I couldn't see which one it was, unfortunately. Just bumped into him, so it's a free kick to Slough. And a good number of Rebels have made this obviously short and familiar journey here back to Holloways Park, where we've ground shared for many years before that early move. And of course we played 3 games here early on in the season. 7 points coming from those 3 games. And it's going to be a throw to Hayes&Yeading. Smith takes the throw just be on the halfway line, comes all the way through to Nisbet. Nisbet brings the ball forward, just takes a bobble, and then again the ball bobbles through. It comes through to Adebayo. Adebayo here on the left back position, looks up, plays it into Martin, but kind of telegraphed that ball, and Fraser comes across for Slough to clear. Flicked on by Dunn. It'll come through to Moon. Moon robbed of the ball by Hope, and then Hope trying to chip the ball forwards, looking for Carter, but well defensive header there by Paul Stonehouse, heads it back into the arms of the grateful Mark Scott. And then Scott just doesn't catch his clearance well. It comes through here to Putman. Putman's just barged off the ball there by Adebayo, and Slough have a free kick. A little bit of a cheap free kick to win there, but it's a free kick nevertheless to Slough. 10 yards inside the Hayes&Yeading half. Dobson comes across to take this one, just in a little conversation here with Lewis Putman. And Dobson here, a couple of yards away from this near side touchline. As he looks up and whips the ball in goal. As it comes through to Bonus. Bonus drops it, comes through. Dunn wins it, and then just charged off the ball by Martin. But Slough win the ball back here with Flood. Flood plays it into Simon Dunn. Dunn being forced into the corner. Up again, I can't see where it is. Martin does well to win the ball, and then plays a ball here looking for Ryan Hope. Hope running with the ball. He's got Vice and Kearney in front of him. Hope still running with the ball, and then goes past Fraser, then slips the ball in here looking for Vice. Vice is onside, plays the ball in. It's a goal, and Hayes&Yeading have scored through Mitchell Vice, and the goal coming in 15th minute, and a breakaway goal there. It's actually the 16th minute, my apologies, 16th minute, and Vice scores, and very much like that game at Arbour Park, Hayes&Yeading took an early lead, and they've taken it here with a goal on the counter-attack. It's Hayes&Yeading 1, Slough Town 0. And again, Slough just having this a problem that they didn't really have at the beginning of the season. They were keeping clean sheets. They haven't kept one for quite a while in the league. And Ryan Hope with the assist there, the ex-Rebel. He'll be pleased with that. And Slough have the kick-off. Moon to Togwell. Togwell with a chipped ball forwards, but no Slough player near that, and it's out for a throw to Hayes&Yeading, and their early pressures play dividends here as they lead. And it's Smith with the throw on the far hand side. Long throw trying to find Vice, who's on loan from Hemel Hempstead but played 3 years for Kings Langley and scored, I believe, something like 70 odd goals in 100 odd appearances. The ball's flicked on here by Dobson. Easy header there for Locke. Only as far as Dunn. Dunn then heads it into the path for Dobson. Dobson trying to spread the play here to Martin, but Martin does well under pressure from Togwell. Plays it in towards Kearney. Kearney up towards Vice. Vice just treads on the ball, and Nisbet goes back to his goalkeeper, and Scott just got to be aware of the bobble here as he clears, trying to find Flood. Flood not yet into the game, being held up there. Ball comes out here though on the far hand side to Dobson. Dobson's crossfield pass comes to Putman. Putman back towards Fraser, just a couple of yards inside his own half, back towards Putman. Putman just trying to turn inside, goes past Martin, still runs with the ball, plays it in towards Dunn. Dunn just hits it straight at Carter, and again Hayes&Yeading win the ball back, and it's a ball over the top for Dylan Kearney. Slough again caught out, and Dylan Kearney shoots, and it's a good save there by Mark Scott as Kearney put a lot of power into that shot, and it looked like it was going straight and just curled at the last minute, but Mark Scott got a good strong hand to that and palmed it away. And it's another corner on the far hand side to Hayes&Yeading. Slough just not getting into this game here. Again, it's something that they've had a bit of a problem with, getting into an early stride. And Martin again with this corner on the far hand side, in swinging corner, hits it hard and low, but the referee's blown his whistle for a bit of shirt pulling, I think, going on in the box. And he's just having a word with a couple of players, and again the corner will be retaken. And again, players get into this. I think there's just a bit of there's a Hayes&Yeading player just in front of Mark Scott, who's blocking his run as the ball goes through, and Scott tries to get to it. It's cleared in the end by Slough. Only is back as far as Carter. Carter volleys the ball in. It's hooked up high in the air, and Mark Scott, under no pressure, will be able to gather that one. And tries to look to get Slough on the quick counter-attack. Ball forward, trying to find Moon. It's gone over the top of him. And Toomey heads it back towards goalkeeper Bowness, under pressure from Putman, but good defending there by the midfielder. And Bowness just throws the ball out 10 yards, and Charlie Moon tries to close it down. Nisbet wins the header. Comes through here to Togwell. Togwell to Fraser. Fraser looks up, plays the ball forward, trying to find a free header. It comes in the centre here to Dunn. Dunn spreads out wide to Dobson. Dobson has got Stonehouse on the overlap. He just doesn't use him and puts the cross in himself. Tries to find Moon. Moon jumps up with Broadbent. Ball's just bouncing around. Headed clear by Toomey. Then Martin volleys the ball clear. And then Slough will get the ball back under Hollis. And then poor touch by Togwell. Gives the ball away to Martin. Martin tries to play a curling ball, trying to set Kearney through, but it's gone out of play. And it's out for a throw. The Slough fans making some noise here. Just not seeing the best of the Rebels so far this game. And just how far up will the referee allow this throw to be taken? It's about 15 yards inside the Slough. He's actually pushing it back, so it's about 20 yards inside the Slough half. Fraser with this throw. Again, looking to play it in. It comes off the head of Martin. Heads it the wrong way, and then headed clear by Locke. Only as far as Togwell. Togwell header puts Nisbet on your back foot. Plays it in towards Stonehouse. Stonehouse on the halfway line, spreads to Dobson. Dobson up towards Moon. Moon trying to hold the ball up there with Locke at his back. The ball's come through, and then Stonehouse makes a run inside. He's been thwarted by Carter, but unfortunately for Hayes&Yeading, it's a free kick to Slough. And this one's a good 35 yards away from goal, but you know exactly who's going to be standing over it. It's going to be James Dobson. And tempted to say, as usual, it's too far out of his distance and then let him shoot, but Slough do send both Nisbet and Hollis forwards for this Free kick. Dobson standing over it, whips the ball in with a lot of pace. It comes all the way through, and then it's going to be Smith with the clearance here for Hayes&Yeading. Plays the ball in. Kearney does well to chest the ball and can hold it in towards Adebayo. Adebayo trying to play it through, and then Fraser's just backheaded it in towards. And Scott's had to chase the ball down, and under pressure from Vice, and then Stonehouse with a clearance high up in the air, and Hayes&Yeading underneath it with Adebayo, but it will come through all the way to Mark Scott, and Scott will just slow the game down a little bit here, try and get Slough back into this. Get a bit of pressure on. It's again long high ball up, trying to find Moon. Moon just leaves the ball here for Flood. Moon's adjudged to have fouled, and it's a free kick to Hayes&Yeading. So not a lot going the Rebels' way here. If we've played 22 minutes here, it's Hayes&Yeading 1, Slough Town 0. The goal coming on 60 minutes by Mitchell Vice as Bowness looks up, plays the ball forward again, trying to find Vice here. Well headed away by Hollis, but only as far as Kearney. Kearney holding the ball up really well. Still got the ball. Plays it out here to Hope. Hope now on the right hand side. Tries to get across in, and then on his knees Nisbet clears, but the ball only comes as far as Toomey. Toomey can control. Plays it out to the left back Adebayo. A couple of yards inside the Slough half. Goes past Putman. Back towards Toomey. Ball takes a horrible bobble, and his chipped ball just bounces all the way through to Mark Scott. But the pitch here at Holloways Park hasn't got any better than when Slough played on it. Horrible little bobble there as Toomey went to play the ball forwards, but it's in the hands of Mark Scott, and again Scott looks forwards to this long ball forward, trying to find Moon beaten to the ball by Locke. It'll come through to Nisbet. Nisbet just heads the ball high back up in the air. Toomey underneath it for Hayes&Yeading. Then Hollis heads it away. Bit of head tennis coming on. Comes down to Stonehouse, and then Stonehouse looks to try and put the ball in. It's come through. And will Moon get there? No, goalkeeper does well to come out and get to that just before Charlie Moon and Broadbent come to the ball, and Bowness has it in his hands inside his penalty area, just taking his time with this kick, and then chips the ball forwards, looking for Carter. Carter beaten the ball by Stonehouse. Ball will come through to Smith, then headed on by Carter to Vice. Vice does well to hold the ball up in towards Hope. Hope trying to find Martin on this near hand side, but Martin is offside. And it's a free kick to Slough as the injured Harrison Gilks just takes his seat next to Nathan Smart. Just waiting for this free kick to come from Nisbet. It's about 15 yards inside the Slough half in a central position. And Nisbet in his orange boots will take this free kick, drills it to the far hand side. Headed away by Carter. Comes through to Togborough, and Togboroug's first touch isn't the best, and then he's given the ball away, and it's a throw now to Hayes&Yeading just inside the Slough half. And they'll leave it for Adebayo. It's a quick throw by him, tries to find Vice. Vice just gambles, and Hollis can clear, but Hollis's clearance goes all the way across, and is that going to be a corner? It is indeed a strange clearance there by Guy Hollis. It means it's a corner again, and immediately Hayes&Yeading send up. Not only do they send up the numbers 5 and 6 in Broadbent and Locke, but Adebayo, the left back, goes forwards as well. So a lot of height in that Hayes&Yeading side. Martin will take it, and then he plays it along the ground to Carter. Carter back towards Martin. Martin trying to cut inside. Still got the ball. Runs straight into Paul Stonehouse, and Stonehouse clears. Looking for Charlie Moon. Moon up against Hope. Hope with a header, and Carter can't keep the ball in. It's out for a throw on that far hand side. And we've played 25 minutes. There's still Hayes&Yeading 1, Slough Town 0. And Slough take the throw quickly, give the ball away yet again. Ball comes towards Kearney. Kearney trying to find the run of Vice. But again, just overhit a little bit. Vice just turned the wrong way, made his run the wrong direction, but come through to Mark Scott. Scott just jumps the ball down and again plays the ball forward, trying to find Flood. Flood up against Smith. Smith wins the header, flicked on by Carter. Then Kearney jumps and wins the ball. It's hit Kearney from a clearance from Mark's Nisbet, and it's a throw to Slough. And Slough yet to get in their strides in this game so far. But quick throw taken towards Nisbet. Nisbet's ball forward, won by Putman. Putman robbed of the ball. It comes back out towards Nisbet. Nisbet flicks it into the path of Dobson. Dobson in a little bit of a subdued position here. Ball played forwards by Stonehouse. Putman waits for it. Headed forwards by Togwell. Moon tries to get there. It's headed away by Broadbent and then comes through, and then Ryan Hope just launches the ball here looking for Carter. Oh, Carter's got past Paul Stonehouse on that far hand side, and Hollis has to come across, and Hollis has fouled him, and that's a free kick to Hayes&Yeading there. Mistake there by Paul Stonehouse. Good run by Terence Carter on that right hand side, and Hollis just stuck a leg out to commit the foul. No card from the referee, and it's a free kick to Hayes&Yeading about 25 yards out and a few yards away from that far side touchline. And Ryan Hope will be the player that stands over this free kick and plays it in short. It's come off the head of Togwell, cleared, comes out only as far as Toomey. Toomey chips the ball in, comes through to Kearney. Kearney trying to head the ball on, and a mistake again by Paul Stonehouse, and Kearney with the shot. It's blocked by Stone. It's just gone over the top of the bar. It's another corner on that far hand side, and Hayes&Yeading with a lot of pressure so far early on. By far the better side out of the two with this deserved lead, and they've got another corner which Martin will go over to take in. Swinging corner for Hayes. Again, just signalling what he wants to do. This time he puts the ball right into the box, goes to the far post. Adibai is up there and keeps the ball in at the far hand side. Up against Fraser, looking for a little bit of help. Vice is the player that comes to cross and help. It comes off Simon Dunn. It's another corner to Hayes&Yeading. And Martin, the number 7, Belante Martin, he's got short sleeve shirt on, but he's got gloves on as well. Surely that kind of, you know, if your hands are cold and your arms are cold, then you'd have a long sleeve shirt on. But there you go. As the corner comes through the far hand side, Scott has to claw the ball away or come through to Martin, 25 yards out. Looks up, plays the ball in, and it's a mistake. It's gone in, and Carter has got a second there. The ball played forward. Mark Scott thought it was coming into his arms, and Carter just threw his body at it. And now on 29 minutes, it's a second goal for Hayes&Yeading, and Slough have got a problem with finishing this year. They're 2-0 down here. They've been by far the worst side. Hayes&Yeading are much the better side here today, and Slough just haven't got going, and Hayes&Yeading deservedly 2-0 up. And the goal coming on the 29th minute, Terence Carter with the goal. So Slough not having the best of days here. And Moon will take this kick off for Slough back towards Togwell. Togwell chipping the ball forward, trying to find the run of Dobson. Dobson beaten to the ball by Smith. It will come out here to Dunn. Dunn heads it in towards Dobson. Dobson flicks the ball on, but Locke comes across. It's back out towards Dunn. Dunn in towards Dobson. Dobson holds the ball to Flood. Dobson bursts into the box. Gets the ball into the box. Flood first with it. Ball comes out here to Putman. Putman just being pushed away here from the goal by Martin. It's got Fraser on the overlap. Doesn't need him. Plays the ball into the box. It's held up well to Flood. Flood chips the ball in, trying to find Charlie Moon. It's headed away by Toomey and then cleared up as far as Kearney. Kearney does really well. Holds the ball up, runs with it. And the referee had blown for a foul on Kearney. It's a free kick. Kearney didn't realise that. He started to run towards the goal from deep inside his own half, but pulled back. And it's a free kick to Hayes&Yeading. Slough just in no hurry to give the ball back here at the moment, which you think they should do, really. And it will be Broadbent, the captain, with this free kick. Halfway inside the Hayes&Yeading half. Broadbent with this long ball forwards, trying to find the run of Vice. Slough will leave it. It comes through to Mark Scott, but Carter chasing it down, almost gets there. And balls with Mark Scott, just drops it outside his penalty area, try and get Slough further down his pitch. Long ball forwards, trying to find Flood. Flood beaten to the ball by Locke. Comes through to Nisbet. Nisbet in towards Hollis. Hollis just plays the ball forward, trying to find Dobson. Dobson beaten to the ball by Smith, then flicked on by Stonehouse, trying to find again Dobson, and then Dobson throws his body at it instead of trying to win the ball. And it's a free kick for a foul by him on the right back, Smith. And Smith will just going to leave that. He's going to leave that for Locke to take. And Locke just throws the ball a couple of feet further than where it was. And looks to get Hayes&Yeading deep again, looking for the run of Vice. It's come off the head of Nisbet, comes through to Togwell. Oh, Togwell again, poor clearance, comes through to Putman, but Putman immediately under pressure to Fraser. Fraser's ball, aimless ball forwards. Moon trying to chase it down here and comes off the head of Broadbent. It's a throw to Slough. 14 minutes left of this game to go. Fraser will take this throw for the Rebels, trying to find Moon. Moon having his arm pulled back towards Fraser, in towards Putman. Putman just stretches to win the ball, then chips the ball into the box. Flood tries to win. It's headed clear and then hooked clear by Terence Carter, and underneath it will be Mark Nisbet. Nisbet takes a touch, gives the ball away to Carter, but Carter can't control it on the volley. It's a throw to Slough, 5 yards inside the Hayes&Yeading half. Stonehouse underneath this throw, plays it to Dobson. Dobson's ball back is high and Stonehouse can't control it properly. It's out for a throw to Hayes&Yeading. First 32 minutes of the game, Hayes&Yeading been by far the better side of the two here. And if you were looking at this, you would say that Slough were the side near the second from bottom and Hayes were the side in fifth. But Slough have the ball here through Togwell, spreads it here to Fraser. Fraser looks up, plays the ball, it's a poor ball, and Adebayo's got a chance to bring the ball away. Togwell gets a touch, and it comes through to Putman. Putman, he's just pushed off the ball here by Martin, who works really well. Gives it to Ryan Hope. Hope trying to find Carter on that far hand side. Carter just the ball over his head, but will do well to keep it in and keep the attack going. Does well, keeps it on, gets onto his right foot, shoots, it's blocked, it's come through to Martin, but Martin's in an offside position. Nothing he could do about that. And it's a free kick to the Rebels. And it's a free kick inside the penalty box for Slough. Mark Scott will stand over it. Long ball forward, again flicked on this time by Flood, trying to find Charlie Moon. Hooked him by Smith. Togwell wins the first header. So Ryan Hope heads it the wrong way. Volleyed clear by Locke, and then Fraser will chase it down, but he's going to leave it for Mark Scott. Scott under pressure from Vice, plays the ball forward. Poor ball. Toomey wins it for Hayes&Yeading, but just can't keep control of it. It's come into the crowd here, next to our commentary position. And it's a throw to Slough, and Togwell just asking for a short throw. Slough with a lack of options here at the moment. Long throw here by Fraser. Finds Flood. Flood in towards Putman. Putman back towards Fraser. In towards Putman's immediately closed down, and he stands there looking for a free kick. Ball played forward to Vice. Oh, Vice just goes past Hollis. He gets goal side of him. He's got two Slough players in. Just keeps hold of the ball. Vice still holding it up on the edge of the area. Gives it now to Martin. Martin's made a great run in. Played the ball in, and then it's just behind. It's cleared by Togwell. And Toomey takes a touch, and one back here by Putman. Putman under pressure wins a free kick for the foul by Toomey. But again, Slough just making some silly little mistakes in the defence there. Toomey, sorry, not Toomey. Vice just got the goal side of Hollis. Hollis should have just headed the ball back, but Vice just shrugged him off and got goal side, but couldn't put a final ball in. It's headed clear by Carter. Comes through to Stonehouse. Flicked in towards Dobson. Dobson just being forced away from the goal. Comes back to Stonehouse inside his own half. Looks up, chips the ball forwards. Trying to find the run. It's come through to Locke. He just scoops that ball high into the air. Looking for Carter. Carter wins the flick on, but it will only come through to Hollis. Hollis to Fraser. Back out towards Putman. Putman very quiet. It's immediately closed down by two players every time he gets the ball in this near side. Up towards Fraser, towards Dunn. Dunn turns in the centre circle. Put on pressure from Kearney. To Nisbet, to Hollis. Now just holding the ball up a little bit here. Ball played forwards, trying to find Moon. And Moon wins a free kick there for a foul by Broadbent. This one's around about, I'd say about 28 yards away from goal. See where the wall lines up for this free kick. Dobson going to stand over this as usual. Looks like just a two-man wall for Hayes&Yeading. Okay, we'll see exactly how far this is. It's about 29 yards away from goal. They're a yard outside the wall's a yard outside the penalty box. As Dobson standing over this free kick for Slough. Can they try and get back into this game? Dobson with the free kick. Oh, it's just chipped forwards. It's hooked clear to the edge of the area. Comes through to Putman. Putman gets it onto his left foot. Shoots. It's blocked by Hope. Comes out on the far hand side to Hollis of all people. Back in towards Putman. Putman's turned up on that left hand side, trying to go past a couple of players. Back towards Hollis. Hollis chips the ball in, but Lock with the headed clearance. It will come through to Fraser. Fraser, the last man. Oh, Carter's just got his elbow on the back of Nisbet's head. It's a free kick to Slough. Central position. This one's a good 35 yards away from goal. And Kearney just trying to hold the play up here, standing in front of the free kick. And just wonder if James Dobson will want to take a shot with this one. Central position. The Wolves an exceedingly long 10 yards away from the ball, but I think maybe the referee miscounted his steps there. But Dobson standing over this free kick. He does look like he's going to shoot. He shoots, it's high, wide, into the stand behind the goal. And it remains here at Holloways Park with 37 minutes gone. It's Hayes&Yeading 2, Slough Town 0. But you do have to remember that early in the season, the Hayes&Yeading management team were in charge of Kings Langley. They were 2-0 up against Slough, and Slough managed to win 3-2. So hopefully that would be the desired outcome for Rebels fans, but at the moment don't look like they're going to get anywhere nearer the goal, as Bowness takes this goal kick and just plants the ball forwards. Martin does well, wins the ball, comes through in the centre to Kearney. Kearney trying to chip the ball forwards. It will come through to Putman. Putman and Dobson look like they've switched sides. Putman now running at the Hayes&Yeading defence, plays the ball in. It's bashed clear by Locke, comes through to Vice, scorer of the first goal, but he's robbed by Stonehouse in towards Hollis, and Slough just not having the time. Comes out to Putman. Every time Slough get the ball, there's a Hayes&Yeading player immediately on them. It's a throw at the moment for Slough on the far hand side, 10 yards inside the Hayes half. It's Stonehouse to Dunn. Dunn gives it back towards Stonehouse, towards Putman. Putman now with a chance to look up, plays a cross in, tries to find Flood, but Bowness does well. Good goalkeeping there by the goalkeeper. Just comes out and catches that ball and dives on it just to make sure it doesn't spill it. Long ball forwards again, looking for the run of Vice. Nisbet with the header clear, but only as far as Toomey. Toomey plays it in towards Martin. Martin holds the ball up, does really well. It's looks like he got caught there. Vice had won the ball. Ball's back with Dunn, and then Dunn gives the ball away to Kearney. Kearney chipping it over, looking for Vice, but Vice was just surrounded by 4 players and couldn't get to the ball. And so a fan in the stand here, just giving, let's just say, he's given Slough some friendly advice on what to do. Long ball forward, trying to find Dobson now on the right hand side, headed away by Adebayo, clicked on by Fraser, but Toomey with the header. Togwell now tries to head it towards the edge. It hits Flood on the chest, and then Moon gets a shot in, but it's well blocked there by Broadbent. It's a corner to Slough. I believe that is their first corner of the game. And Dobson will come across to take this corner for the Rebels. It'll be an out-swinging corner. Slough fans in good voice behind that goal now as Slough finally get into that Hayes half. As Dobson plays the ball into the foot, this thrower players just charge into it. Togwell up against Togwell wins the ball, but Hope wins it back for Hayes and just turns and then plays it in only as far as Dunn. Dunn with a chance to shoots, but he's dropped it, and then Bowness does really well. He dropped the first effort and then managed to gather the second one just before Charlie Moon got there. And although he didn't do well with that first one, he did really well to get that second one, and it remains Hayes&Yeading 2, Slough 0 as we enter the final 5 minutes of this first half. Ball played forward by Bowness, again looking for Vice. It's come through in the centre to Toomey in towards Martin. Martin trying to go past Fraser. Hollis comes across with a clearance up towards Dobson, back towards Fraser. Fraser under pressure towards Togwell. Togwell being chased down. Ball play forward to Hollis. Broadbent wins the header. It comes through to Flood. Flood turns, holds the ball up, brings it across. He's got Putman and Stonehouse on this left position. Plays it in towards Putman. Putman's got Stonehouse in front of him. Stonehouse trying to up against Smith. Goes past him and gets the ball back. Gets to the byline and plays the ball. It's not the best of crosses there by Putman. He couldn't really take the time to control it. Played it in early, and Bowness does well to dive onto the ball just before it broke to Charlie Moon in the 6-yard box. And Bowness just taking his time with this goal kick. and then plays a long ball forward. It's looking for the ball forwards, and Kearney barges into Nisbet, and it's adjudged to be a foul and a free kick to Slough. And it's about 10 yards inside the Slough half. Nisbet will take this free kick. And with Slough just lacking a little bit of hustle and bustle. Oh, it's a poor free kick by Nisbet. So put Slough on the back foot. Dobson wins the ball. Only plays it here to Vice. Vice is electric. Tries to come across, but Guy Hollis does well. And tackles and plays the ball out. It's a throw here to Hayes&Yeading. Slough having 45 minutes to forget here at their old home. And it's Adebayo with the throw. Trying to find Vice. It's headed away by Fraser. Comes through to Toomey. Toomey heads it forward. Fraser comes across, and Dobson waiting for the ball to go out. It's a free kick for a high foot against Martin, and Slough have a free kick which Fraser will take about 15 yards inside their own half. We'll just wait for Fraser to take this free kick. Long ball played in, looking for Flood. Flood beaten to the ball by Broadbent. Hooked away by Martin. Vice comes back to try and head the ball. It comes through to Dunn. Dunn's header is just flicked on and then volleyed clear by Toomey, but Slough will let the ball go back to Scott. And as he waited for it, it took a bobble. He's hit it straight out of play. It's landed on the roof of our commentary position, and it's a throw to Hayes&Yeading halfway inside the Slough half. 2.5 minutes left of this first half. Adebayo will take the throw. Again, tries to find Kearney. Kearney being pulled there, and how that wasn't a foul, I do not know. Ball's with Togwell towards Nisbet. Nisbet clears, but his clearance only as far as Locke. Finds Togwell. Togwell just hits it straight at Simon Dunn, and just a bit of luck that it rebounds kindly to Fraser, but Fraser's ball is won by Toomey. It's come out to Carter on the far hand side. Carter running at the Slough defence. He's got 3 players near him. He just bangs it past Stonehouse and then tries to catch up with it. Stonehouse comes across, and it's a corner to Hayes&Yeading. Hayes easily the better team here today, deservedly with this 2-goal lead, and looking for a third just before half time. And again, Martin will be the player that goes across for this in-swinging corner. And this time Martin drills it into the box. A free header there by Adebayo, but he can't direct it goalwards. Heads it wide of the goal. And it's a goal kick to Slough. So Scott will take this goal kick. Got a minute and a few seconds plus whatever the referee adds on for this first half. Scott plays ball out, looking for Dobson. Dobson up against Adebayo. Adebayo wins a header. Fraser rises but jumps on the back of Kearney. It's a free kick to Hayes. And again, Hayes will have a chance just before half time to see if they can add to their 2-goal lead. Ryan Hope standing over this free kick for Hayes&Yeading. Just floats the ball out there to Carter. Carter heads the ball forwards in towards Kearney. Kearney on the edge of the 18-yard box. Still holds the ball up well. Turns, still with the ball. Trying to go past a couple of players. Slough finally win it back here with Putman. Putman clears, but only as far as Smith. Togwell wins the ball, and then Dunn flicks the ball on. It'll break in the centre here to Moon. Moon just plays it a little bit behind Putman and gives Carter the chance to come back, but Putman's won it back, and then he's immediately closed down by 2 players, and he's adjudged to have actually fouled for shirt pulling, according to the referee there. So a free kick to Hayes&Yeading. Kearney wants to take it about 10 yards away from where the offence was, but quickly pulled back there by the referee. Stephen Roche is obviously feeding his daughter something that he shouldn't do. She seems to think that Slough will win 4-2. As this free kick comes in from Ryan Hope. Free header for Togwell, but again only as far as Toomey. Toomey heads it goalwards. Volleyed clear by Hollis. It'll come through to Adebayo. Adebayo flicks the ball goalwards, and it'll come through all the way to Mark Scott. Scott just urges Slough to go forwards and then kicks long, trying to find Flood. Flood just out beaten to the ball by Adebayo. Comes through to Togwell. Good control by Togwell. And then plays the ball forwards, only as far as Adebayo. Comes nicely to Dobson, though. Dobson with the ball in, trying to find Moon. Moon's first time that he's got anywhere near. And then he slips as he goes into the box. He's looking for a penalty. No chance of the penalty. He's down injured at the moment. Hollis with the clearance. And that is the half-time whistle here at Holloways Park. It's Hayes&Yeading 2, Slough 0. Hayes&Yeading fully deserving this 2-goal lead, by far the better of the two sides here. And their goals coming in the 16th minute from Mitchell Weiss, and the doubled in the 29th minute by Terence Carter. Those are your 2-goal scorers. There was an early injury to Hayes&Yeading, to Josh Hutchinson. He was replaced by Dylan Kearney. Those are your highlights of the first half, unless you're a Slough fan, in which they are lowlights. And the fans start to make their way round the ground. This gentleman here has some alcohol, which I don't believe you're allowed to do. We were never allowed to do it when we were here. There's a sign saying no alcohol beyond this point. But there you go. He seems to have sneaked his pint outside. So there you go. And the fans, Hayes&Yeading fans, just make their way round. Some of the Slough fans are grabbing their places early on. And while it's nice to be back into a nice commentary box with a proper little area to work from, unlike at Arbour Park, unfortunately the score isn't exactly what Slough were looking for. And you've got a couple of changes maybe to be seen at half time, with the possibilities of Gavin James and Charlie Empire maybe coming on. We'll see how that goes. Now normally we'd give you details of the half-time scores, but obviously there isn't anything going on really. If you do want to get in contact with us here at Rebels Radio, if you're on Twitter, it's at MyFC Rebels Radio, or if you're listening via YouTube and you're a subscriber to YouTube, you can come down and leave a comment and it will come through to us here, and just say who you are and where you're listening from. We'll give you a shout out. So there seems to be a really large queue now for the T-bar. Oh, the winning 50-50 ticket. It's a long number. Right, 09029 is the winning 50-50 ticket. So if you're at home and you've got that ticket, come back down and collect your winnings. Apparently it's £102 today. So there you go. So the next game for the Rebels is on the 2nd of January, which could well be a Monday. I really haven't got a clue. But it will be a home game to Chesham. We're 3 o'clock kickoff. Just remember that with a larger than expected crowd, with it being a holiday day, just be aware that there are parking restrictions at the ground. So please look at the Slough Town website over the next couple of days. It will give you what is going on, and so you'll know where to park. And we'll just I'm so used to just clicking on and seeing what any half-time scores. Obviously there isn't anything going on today. So what we look to do is we do a thing called On This Day. So on this day we have not a lot, because everyone was on their Christmas holidays, so not really a lot going on, unfortunately, on this day in history. But we do have in 1825 the first public railway steam locomotive run was between Stockton and Darlington. So that was on this day in 1825. And then, just to show you how slow it is around the world, on the 27th of December, the only other thing that I could find was in 1945, the International Monetary Fund, the IMF, was founded. That's not the thing that you see in the Tom Cruise movies. It's not that IMF. IMF is the monetary thing. It's like a big bank, I think. You wouldn't believe it. I used to do economics at school. And I still can't even remember what it is. But that was the other thing that we could find on the this day, so not really a lot of stuff going on. But we do have some famous birthdays. Louis Pasteur, the man who saved the world from having tepid cups of tea, was born on 1822 on this day. Irene Handel, you'd have to be a little bit older, maybe my kind of age, to remember Irene Handel. But Irene Handel was English actress. She was in loads and loads of comedies and stuff. You'd picture the face. She was always the little old granny. And so she was born in 1901. Gerard Depardieu. See, that's my French skills for you. Gerard Depardieu. He was born in 1948 on this day. And then football-wise, we've got two. We've got Duncan Ferguson, Big Dunk, currently a coach at Everton. He was born on this day in 1971. And then David Dunn, who he's played for Blackburn and other clubs. He's kind of immortalised. I think he was playing for Birmingham at the time, but he tried to do a Rabona kick and totally missed the ball and fell flat on his behind. That's what he's mostly more well known for. He was born in 1979. And then what we've got born on this day is Marlene Dietrich. And it's not someone that plays up front for Standard Liège or something. Marlene Dietrich was a famous actress for many films that she's been in. Witness for the Protection, and Around the World in 80 Days, and Foreign Affairs, and many of those. So she was born on this day in 1901. So with it being a little bit, because everyone was on their holidays, it was a little bit difficult to find anything else for on this day, but we did happen to find that on this day last year someone died. His name was Meadowlark Lemon. So a lot of you would be going, Meadowlark Lemon, who is Meadowlark Lemon? You've never heard of him. If you were an American, you would know exactly who he was. Regarded as one of the greatest basketball players ever, but he never actually played for a proper side. He played for the Harlem Globetrotters. And the Harlem Globetrotters, famous around for the fact they go around to all around the world playing these exhibition games, lots of comedy skills and comedy routines in their games. Meadowlark Lemon died last year at the age of 83. Between 1954 and 1979, he played over 16,000 games of basketball. And it works out roughly around about 350 odd games a year that he played. Now you look at the pampered footballers of now who get paid absolutely tons of money and can't play 2 games in a week or 3 games in a week. Even if you look now on the Harlem Globetrotters website, they will have a European tour starting around late March, April. They will be in Britain early in April, but even now they've been playing all the way around America over the Christmas and New Year, and they literally do play. They look like they have 2 squads, and they play 2 different teams go out around the world and play now. So even if you look at their website now, they're still doing a game every day, or sometimes 2 games with their different squads. So Meadowlark Lemon was widely regarded. Oh, sorry, I don't. Ooh. Apologies, there's something stuck in my throat. Meadowlark Lemon was widely regarded as one of the best basketball players for his comedy routines and what he did, and he went on to become an ordained minister and was a motivational speaker. And like I say, if you look on the Harlem Globetrotters website, they are actually doing a European tour. They're around England and Scotland early in April. I've seen them before myself. Very good night out indeed. and something for you to look into. So let's. So there you go. So what we're going to do, we're going to got a couple of minutes just before kick-off. So we're just going to come off air for a couple of seconds, just to clear my throat, and then we'll be back for the full second half coverage of this Evestic Southern Premier League match, and hopefully we'll see a little bit better football from Slough in the second half. Right, so the management teams of both sides are back in their positions. The players are mostly just chatting away amongst themselves. So I bet the difference in the Slough dressing room as they come out now, and just wondering if there is a substitute. There does look like there's two Slough players who look like they may be primed to come on. We'll just see what goes on for that. We'll try and keep you up to date as those. I can just see Warren Harris wearing 15, and looks like Gavin James is the other person who may be coming on. We'll see that. Good afternoon to Garth Kemp, who's a Hayes fan here. He's obviously enjoying the commentary much more than the Slough fans are doing. The players now from both sides are just coming out. And the referee coming as well. Just going to see what the substitutions are. There's definitely going to be two substitutions for the Rebels here at half time. And Warren Harris has come on for James Dobson. So Harris is on for Dobson. I can see that one because that's the one that they're showing. And then we'll just wait to see, wait for the referee and the linesman to come over so we can see what the second one is. We're just trying to see for myself who it is. I guess it might be Charlie Moon is the other player that's coming off. Let's just see. I'm trying to see who's left out there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, definitely Dobson coming off for Harris. And then I think it's Charlie Moon who went down at the end of that one. It is Charlie Moon comes off and Gavin James will come on. So those are your two substitutions for Slough. Is Dobson and Moon off and Warren Harris and Gavin James on. Linesman in front of me just counting to make sure that there's 11 players now on the pitch. They're on now that the substitution has been allowed. There's still a little bit of light here, although the floodlights are on. It's still a little bit of light around here. As the referee, Mr. Carmichael, just makes sure that everything's fine, and the game kicks off. Slough with the ball, played it on the far hand side, looking for Putman, headed away by Smith, comes into Togwell. Togwell heads the ball forwards. Again, Smith first to the ball, heads at his own players, and ball falls for Putman. Putman just got a little push there, and the referee spots that. It's a free kick to Slough here on the edge of the Hayes&Yeading, a little bit further back from the Hayes&Yeading penalty area. But Putman will be the player standing over this free kick. In fact, the wall is literally a couple of yards inside the corner of that penalty area. Just coming over a little bit cold here. I forgot to take my jacket. Definitely a jacket in the car. So it's a free kick here to Slough early on in the start of this second half. Putman with this free kick for the Rebels. Puts it in, good ball. It's confirms a goal for Slough! And it's Mark Nisbet who gets the goal. So Slough score in the first minute of the second half. Nisbet with only his second goal for Slough. And he gets on the end of that Putman cross and puts the ball in. And it's those fans who are still queuing up for their food or in the bar. It's 2-1. Ball's here with Ryan Hope. Plays it out here to Carter. Carter takes the ball on, but Stonehouse wins it back. Up here to Putman. Putman back in his left wing position. Tackled by Hope. It's a throw to Slough on the halfway line. And then the Slough fans now start to make some noise behind that goal in the far side. Stonehouse with the throw. Headed on by Flood. Comes out only as far as Hope. Hope does well to turn his fellow number 8 and then chips the ball forwards. Only as far as Hollis. Hollis can hook the ball clear for Slough towards Togwell. Togwell trying to find Warren Harris. Harris does well keep the ball in. Up against Martin on the far hand side. Harris still with the ball. Still running at the Hayes&Yeading defence. Plays it off Martin and it's a throw to Slough. Almost level with the 18-yard line. Slough are going to leave it for Togwell of all people to take this throw. And Togwell I didn't even realise he had a long throw option in him. He's thrown the ball in. Headed volley clear by Martin. Only as far as Dunn. Dunn back out here to Togwell. Togwell puts the cross in. Headed goalwards by Slough by Chris Flood. But Gavin James just couldn't get there. It's gone safely out for a goal kick. So Slough with that early goal. So it's Hayes&Yeading 2, Slough Town 1. And Slough with the 2 substitutions immediately paying dividends. Bowness just taking his time with this goal kick. So Bowness. Long kick forwards aimed again for Vice. Kearney beaten to the ball though by Togwell. Comes out here to the Stonehouse. Stonehouse chance to run into the Hayes half. Still running with the ball. Spreads it out towards Putman. Putman here up against Smith. Putman tries to go past him on the left. Gets another cross in. It's a good low cross. Oh, it's hit goalwards by Stonehouse. And in the end, Stonehouse just swung a foot. He didn't connect with it properly. And it looked like it was flying over the bar, but it just dropped near the end. And Bowness just had to get a hand to it and push that one over the bar. And it's a corner now to Slough, and Guy Hollis just in conversation with Putman as Putman goes across to take this corner. It'd be an in-swinging corner from the left-footed Putman. As obviously Beaconsfield have relaxed their alcoholic stance here, as several people walking past with alcohol. Putman plays this ball in. Post is Hollis. Hollis heads it goalwards. It comes through. James sticks a leg out. Comes back for Hollis. Hollis chips the ball forward. Headed clear by Adibayi. Comes out to Warren Harris. Beats to the ball and then flicked on by Stonehouse. Comes through to Putman. Putman beaten to the ball again by Adibayi, but it's gone out for a throw to Slough on the far hand side. Slough going to take the quickly to Fraser from Nisbet. Fraser flicks it in towards Dunn. Dunn just chips the ball in, trying to find James, trying to hold it up, just tumbles as he gets near the ball, and it will come through here to Hollis. Hollis volleys forward, flicked on by Nisbet, comes through to Flood. Flood plays it into Warren Harris. Harris gets down that right hand side, cross comes in, headed away by Broadbeck, comes through to Martin. Martin goes past Dunn and then clears again, looking for Kearney, but well spotted by Hollis, and then Simon Dunn wins the ball for Slough. Referee says play on, spreads it here to Putman. Putman in towards Flood. Flood turns, holds the ball up, comes back out to Stonehouse on the overlap for Slough. Stonehouse got Putman with him, cuts inside to Simon Dunn. Simon Dunn just being forced backwards. Ball chipped in towards Gavin James. Gavin James trying to hold it inside the box. It's hooked clear only as far as Togwell. Togwell to Stonehouse, the two Mitchell brothers. And then Stonehouse spreads it to Putman in a bit of space here. Putman looks up, gets a cross in. Goes all the way back here to Warren Harris on the edge of the 18-yard line. Up against Martin. Got Fraser with him, and Fraser gets the ball to Warren Harris. Back in, cuts inside to Fraser. Fraser inside the box. Looks to take a tumble. Shoots. Oh, it's a goal for Sean Fraser! I wouldn't believe it if I hadn't seen it myself. He's only ever scored 2 goals for the Rebels. One of those came this season in a League Cup match. He's just smacked the ball in from 15 yards, cracked it into the top of the net. He's made this is his 199th appearance for the Rebels. It's only his 3rd goal ever, and on 51 minutes it's 2-2. And whatever was said at half time, it's surely worked again. A good play on the far hand side between Warren Harris and Sean Fraser, and Fraser, who, if he plays against Cheshire will make his 200th appearance. Slough winning the ball back. They're on the front foot now. Here with Togwell. Togwell trying to find Gavin James. Gavin James gets goal. Well, shoots it. It's got to cross the goal and it's a little bit too far. But Togwell's trying to keep that ball alive and you think he will at the far hand side. Ball's been cleared up towards Martin though for Hayes. Only as far as Fraser. Fraser just tinks the ball in. Slough on the front foot now. Different Slough this second half. Ball played in from Dunn towards James. James holds it up on the edge of the area. Oh, I tried to play it in Flood, but comes back out towards Togwell to Fraser. Fraser now just a bit of time to get his cross in. Aimed at Gavin James. It's come through to Smith who hoops that ball well clear. It's won by Stonehouse. In towards Dunn. Dunn up against Kearney. Dunn tries to win the ball. It will break here to Nisbet. Nisbet in towards Putman. Back in towards Flood. Flood just overruns it and loses the ball. Stonehouse with the challenge. And Slough get the ball back. It's a free kick though for the challenge by Stonehouse. And it all just calms down a little bit there. And it's a free kick taken quickly by Ryan Hope. Trying to find Martin on the far hand side. Well defended by Sean Fraser. Comes out to Warren Harris. Harris with the ball forwards finding James. James trying to just flick it into the path of Flood. But Flood just a little bit slow then chases it down. But Bowness with the clearance up towards Vice. And Vice does really well to win the ball. Oh, he's done really well. But Guy Hollis has managed just to get there in the end. And ball goes back to Mark Scott. Hits the ball forwards. Comes off the head of Toomey to Nisbet, and it'll come through to Stonehouse, and Stonehouse hooks the ball forwards, and James up against Broadbent. Broadbent does well to win it. Toomey trying to flick it on. Vice comes across the header into the path of Carter. Carter trying to play the ball on here for Kearney. Kearney up against Hollis, and the bounce there just took the ball away from Kearney, and in the end Hollis has to come across and clear, and it's a throw on the far hand side to Hayes. Hayes 2, Slough 2. Wouldn't have seen that coming at half time. Hayes with dominant team. Hayes with the ball now with Toomey. Toomey trying to play in Martin. Martin's in the onside. Plays the ball and it's a goal! And Kearney's got one back. What a game this is! Is it? Oh no, he's offside. It's offside. It wasn't the cross in. Was fine. I thought, well, it wasn't Martin was offside. It must have been when he played the cross in. It must have been Kearney who'd ghosted into an offside position. It's still 2-2. Hayes with a goal disallowed. And Slough had the ball on this near hand side with Putman, and it's come off Smith. And a throw to the Rebels. And Slough just wasted that throw, giving it away, and it's now a throw to Hayes&Yeading. And Marchacha, you should have tuned in earlier, because would be a couple more goals. You've only tuned in for 5 minutes and we've scored 2. If you'd tuned in at the beginning of the game, we might have been about 4-2 up. So a throw here though to Slough with Paul Stonehouse with the throw. Inside his own half, trying to find Flood. It's come off the head of Smith into Simon Dunn. Simon Dunn wins it back, but only as far as Kearney. Kearney holds the ball up well, then tries to chip the ball down. It's come off the back of Paul Stonehouse, and it's a throw to Hayes. Carter going to take it? No, he's just going to leave it for Smith to come through and take that. Take that. So I'm not trying to put band names in there. Smith with this throw for Hayes&Yeading, about level with the 18-yard line. Nisbet comes across and tries to clear, but ball falls through to Carter. Carter does well to hold it up, still running with the ball. Putman trying to win it. In the end, Smith tries to get the cross in, but Carter is adjudged to have fouled. So it's a free kick to Slough. And at half time, I don't think anyone really would have thought that Slough would win, would get 2 goals back, and maybe Stephen Roach should let his young daughter, because apparently during the first half we were 2 down, she said that Slough would win 4-2. She's almost there. If it is finishing 4-2 tonight, Stephen, whenever the lottery is next, I would let her choose your numbers. Scott with this free kick for Slough. Deep inside his own half, plays it in. It's going to be a free header for Broadbent. Heads it forwards only as far as Hollis. Hollis towards Fraser. Fraser looks up, tries to find Gavin James. James flicks the ball on. Slough looking for a free kick, and they get the free kick. The referee judging that to be a foul by Broadbent on Gavin James. And This is a dangerous position for Slough. This is 30 yards away from goal. Quite a central position. Dobson no longer on the pitch, so it's going to fall to Putman to take it. Putman just looking for directions from the bench, whether he's allowed to shoot or whether he's got to cross it. He's just having a conversation with Guy Hollis. John Under was pointing goalwards, but that could mean anything. That really could. As it is, so Putman just standing over this free kick. And Smith's just had to change his shirt there. And it's a free kick to Slough, 30 yards away from goal. Putman standing over this one. Slough with a couple of players on that 18-yard line trying to jostle around. Putman with this shot. He takes a shot at goal and it's just wide of the goal there, but you could always see it was going that way. And good afternoon to Gerald, who's listening in Langley. He's a first-time listener. Welcome to Rebels Radio. And so far the commentary's been okay. I think that Slough fans, the first half wasn't exactly the best, but this first 13 minutes of the second half have gone well. Bowness with the goal kick. Aimed again towards Kearney. Underneath it is Fraser. Plays it into the path of James. James in towards Warren Harris. Harris being closed down by Martin. Martin does well to win the ball back, but it's come through to Flood. Flood just gives it in, and it's been dinked over to Warren Harris. He gets behind the defence. Martin's come back at him, but Harris still holds the ball up. Gives it to Fraser. Score of the second goal. Ball into the box. It's a headed goalwards by Broadbent, and it's taken well there by Bowness in the goal. And he just slows the ball down, and you've got to feel sorry for the Hayes&Yeading management team. When they were at Kings Langley, they were 2 up against Slough, and Slough ended up winning 3-2. And it's not that it's 3-2 at the moment, but it's given away a 2-0 lead again of Hayes. It's a throw on the far hand side, taken by Adibayo, but it's volleyed clear by Hollis. Comes through towards Flood. Flood just holds the ball up, turns, and then plays it through to Gavin James. Oh, and that was a late flag there. Gavin James looked like he was going to run through, but a late flag by the linesman on that far hand side. Pulls it back, it's offside. And it's a free kick to Hayes&Yeading, 15 yards inside their own half. You can definitely tell it's getting a little bit cold. I forgot a heater, because I've been at work this morning. I forgot to bring the heater, because you can put a heater in here, but I didn't bring it. Long ball forwards by Hayes. Comes through to Weiss, and then there's a foul on Weiss by Hollis. It's a free kick to Hayes&Yeading, about 23 yards away from goal, but a position to the left-hand side of the box. It looks like it's going to be Martin and Hope standing over this free kick for Hayes. Oh, they're just going to leave it for Ryan Hope to take. And the referee just marching out those 10 yards. Mr. Carmichael had a good game so far. Refereed it well. Slough just being told to come back a little bit. Hope will take this free kick for Hayes. Just waiting for the referee's whistle. Goes to the far post, and then it's headed on by Locke, but it's hit the posts. But I think the ball had already gone out of play, so it's a goal kick to the Rebels. I think that Stephen Roach is going to get his little daughters dressed up as Mystic Meg and give us all the lottery numbers for the next one. Is it I can't remember. Is it Wednesday today, or was it Wednesday tomorrow? Because Wednesday's the next lottery, isn't it? Scott with this long kick forwards, aims for Flood, but headed clear by Locke. Hits the top of the stand and then bounces down. Quick throw by Stonehouse to Togwell. Togwell treads on the ball. It's well won back here by Kearney, but Slough try and win the ball back. It comes through to Dunn. Dunn spreads it in towards Warren Harris. Harris with a bit of space on the right hand side. He's got Fraser on the overlap if he needs it. Gives it to Fraser. Just plays it a little bit in front. Fraser gets across in, and it's headed clear in the end, but only as far as Martin. Martin just runs into his own goal. Slough win the ball back through Putman. Putman to Togwell. Togwell shoots. Oh, he's drilled it really well, and then it was well spotted by Bowness, who did really well to keep his eye on that as it just went through a crowd of players, but didn't take a deflection, and Bowness does really well to keep his eye and gaffer on that one, and then clears the ball long up towards Weiss. Weiss loses it out to Nisbet. Nisbet's ball played forwards. One flicked on there by Toomey, comes through, and then Vice is there first. Looked like it hit Nisbet on the hand, but the referee said no. Out towards Fraser. Fraser finds Gavin James into the path of one. Oh, that's lovely play by Slough. This is the football that they weren't playing in the first half. Ball's back in towards James. James on the edge of the area, shoots, blocks by Broadbent. Will come out here to Vice, is doing a lot of running, flicking the ball, trying to find Kearney. Kearney holding the ball up. Kearney doing well. It's almost like a scrum there between the two players. Flicks it in through Vice, but Nisbet comes across and defends well. And it's still 2-2 here with 16 minutes of this second half gone. Although Hayes&Yeading have had that third goal disallowed. Ball flayed in, looking for Kearney. Kearney, you could say he was almost twerking there as he shielded the ball. But as a judge to have fouled, it's a free kick to Hayes&Yeading. Halfway inside the Slough half. And Mark Scott, the Slough goalkeeper, will take this free kick. And just looks to play that ball long into the air, trying to find Flood. It's flicked on there to Gavin James. Gavin James trying to get there first. Oh, a mistake there by the captain Broadbent. Just forces himself back and then clears. And it's a throw to Slough deep inside the Hayes&Yeading half. No, referee just saying that you can take it there. And it's going to be Sean Fraser with the throw. Trying to play it in towards Gavin James. Gavin James holds it up. Just flicks the ball a little bit behind Fraser. But Fraser then plays the ball in. They'll flicked in and turned. And then some good defending there by Martin. But he hits the ball straight at Warren Harris. And it's out for a goal kick. So Melando Martin's not gone forwards as much as he did before. He did put that cross in for the disallowed goal. But he's got a little bit more work to do here now as both Fraser and Warren Harris are tearing down that right hand side for Slough. Still 2-2 as Bowness takes this goal kick, aims towards Martin, headed away though by Hollis. Ball's flicked in, headed away by Togwell, comes through to Toomey. Toomey takes it on his chest, but is robbed of the ball by Flood, but comes out here to Kearney. Kearney heads it towards Smith. Smith just flicks the ball forwards here, looking for Carter. Carter looked to have fouled, but it comes through to him from Kearney. Carter on this right hand side, got two Slough players with him, does well to hold them both off, gets the cross in, and then in the end Hollis with the clearance. It will come through here to Putman looking for a foul. Flood trying it up against Smith, comes through to Locke, who just plays a high ball in the air. Martin trying to get underneath it, won by Togwell, trying to clear, but Adibai does well, good defending by him. Ball comes into the centre for Toomey, in the centre circle, just being forced back. Ball played forwards, trying to find Martin, well spotted by Sean Fraser, scorer of the second goal. Flicks here into Warren Harris, half-time substitute for Slough, to the other half-time sub Gavin James, holds the ball up really well, does James. Now spreads it out here, he's got Stonehouse and Putman. Stonehouse on the edge of the area, goes past one, still running with the ball, but some good defending there by Toomey. And plays the ball forward, looking for Carter. Carter does well, turns, now runs at the Slough defence from inside his own half. Plays the ball here to Kearney. Kearney just being closed down immediately. Dinks the ball out, looking for the run of Mitchell Vice. Vice here with a 2-on-2, running towards goal, cuts inside, trying to shoot, plays it in towards cut. He's got to be offside, surely. He's overrun the ball anyway. As Carter, it's gone through to Mark Scott in the Slough goal. And Guy Hollis looking at the linesman, thinking he should have put his flag up. I didn't see a flag, but he did look clearly offside. But in the end, it didn't matter. And Mark Scott just rolls the ball a couple of yards outside of his area. Plays long ball down here, looking for Flood. Flood not really got into the game so far for Slough, but does well to hold the ball up, and he's won a throw on the far hand side. Gorgeous setting here at Beaconsfield. There's a red sky just over the trees on the far hand side. Ball play forwards by James, one back though by Martin. His ball can only find Simon Dunn. Simon Dunn just goes around him on the far hand side, still running, dinks the ball in here to Flood into Warren Harris. Harris for a shot. It's a foot. It's hit the post and gone off. I really thought that had gone in, but the ball had hit the post and came back onto the pitch, and in the end Hayes cleared it for a corner, but I honestly thought the ball had hit the post and gone in. It hadn't. It's hit the post and come out. It's still 2-2, but Slough have a corner on this near hand side. We'll just wait for this corner to come in. Nisbet up for this corner. Slough doing their famous hokey cokey routine. Ball will be played in, goes in deep. It's come through everyone, and there's a foul inside the box, judged by the referee, and it's a free kick to Hayes&Yeading. Hayes&Yeading look like they're going to make their second substitution of the day. Looks like Terence Carter will be the man coming off, scorer of their second goal, and he's going to be replaced by number 16, which is Cole Brown. And that is in the 66th minute, that substitution. So Cole Brown coming on for Terence Carter as a lady just walks past with what looks like a lovely plate of chips. So there you go, that's a second substitution for Hayes. Both sides have made 2 substitutions now. And we'll wait for Cole Brown just to join the play when the referee's happy. And Bowness will get the game back underway with this goal kick. Long kick again, aimed towards Vice, beaten to the ball by Hollis. It'll come through here to Flood. Flood trying to flick the ball on, but just flicks it into the face of a fan standing on the side there. It's a throw to Hayes&Yeading. And ball played forwards. It's been cleared by Slough, trying to find the run of Gavin James, headed away by Locke, only as far as Putman. Putman picks up in the centre. Oh, he hits it straight at the referee, and the referee wins the ball back and then does a dummy, and the ball's won back by Slough, and I think the referees let that go. It's ball come back out towards Jack Smith. Smith plays it in here to Brown. Brown with his first touch goes past on one side, and then Dunn comes across, wins the ball back for Slough, and just loses it for a challenge from Cole Brown. Ball's here with Toomey. Toomey looking to try and play the ball forwards. Hollis with the volley clearance, not the best of clearances. Fraser has to come inside and bring the ball, and then goes down quite easily there. And it's a free kick to Slough inside the centre circle, taken quickly by Guy Hollis, up towards Warren Harris, in towards Flood. Flood just holding the ball up, now trying to release Harris on the overlap. Harris does well, keeps the ball in. Martin's the player coming back, and it's come off Martin for a corner. Different Slough Town this second half. They've been by far the better of the 2 sides. And the Slough fans making some noise now behind that goal. Just trying to suck the ball back into the net. Slough need this victory if they're to regain second spot. It's going to be Putman with this in-swinging corner for Slough from the far-hand side. And it goes near post. It's not the best. It's cleared high in the air by Toomey. It's in. Everyone's just waiting for the ball to drop. It's headed across goal. It comes through, and then Ryan Hope with the clearance. And Slough will try and get the ball back here through Stonehouse. Stonehouse uses his weight. It comes off him, and it's a throw to Hayes&Yeading. Vice takes it in towards Hope, back towards Mitchell Vice. Vice under pressure, then plays it in towards Toomey. Toomey inside the centre circle, looks up, can spread the ball out here to Martin. Martin takes it on, well, good control there by Martin on his chest there. And up against Putman, who'd come back and helped out, and Putman does really well to win a throw for Slough. So we've played 24 minutes of the second half. It's Hayes&Yeading 2, Slough Town 2. And the attendance today is 474. As Fraser takes the throw, flicked on by Warren Harris. Toomey with the header in the centre for Hayes&Yeading. Then Fraser wins his flick on, then heads his own flick on. Comes through to Putman. Putman trying to find Gavin James, and Broadbent does well to win the header and then clear the ball up towards Martin. Martin takes it on his chest but loses out towards Fraser. Fraser up towards Warren Harris. Harris up against Martin. Harris winning that battle here on the far hand side. He's got a free kick there signalled by the linesman on the far hand side. So the attendance here today at Hayes&Yeading, well, at Beaconsfield obviously, but for Hayes&Yeading is 474. And well done to all those fans who have made it here. Not a Boxing Day game, but a fair few. It's a free kick to Slough. It's right. It's about 20 yards away from goal, but it's right on that touch line, and Putman standing over it for the Rebels. And referee just making sure that the wall is 10 yards back. Putman looking to deliver into the box. Puts a good delivery in. It's a free header. Oh, and it's corner, is it? No, it's a goal kick. I think it came off Gavin James last, but it's out for a goal kick. And the Slough fans are maybe a little bit surprised at how Slough started the second half. Those first 6 minutes where they got those 2 goals back have certainly got them into the game. But it's just died down a little bit now since half time. Good afternoon to Marcus, who's listening, as the ball played in from Bowness. It's well won by Martin, flicked on by Ryan Hope, trying to find Kearney. Nisbet with a good intelligent header towards Fraser. Fraser down the line, trying to find the run of Flood, but he can't keep the ball in. It's out for a throw to Hayes&Yeading, but it's cleared well by excuse me, Hollis. Then back by Slough with Gavin James on the run. Gavin James gets behind the last line of defence, gets into the box. He's just on the wide side, cuts inside, shoots. It's a third for Slough. Gavin James has got it, and the substitute has made a huge difference today. That was a goal, all of his own work, and he won that ball halfway inside the Hayes&Yeading half. He battled down the side. He got past Locke. He then got into the box. When he got into the box, he turned, got it onto his left foot. Didn't take the shot first time. Took another touch, and then drilled it low into the bottom corner of the net to give Slough the lead for the first time today. It's Hayes&Yeading 2, Slough Town 3. And it's a totally different 45 minutes from the Rebels that you're seeing this time. And just imagine if Slough had played this way in the first half. So that goal came on 71 minutes. Hayes&Yeading with the kick-off. Ryan Hope with the ball, being forced back. Slough with a real hunger and trying to chase everything down. Good chasing down by Flood. Ball played forward for Kearney, but Stonehouse is there, flicked on by Dunn towards Putman. Putman again flicks the ball, trying to find the run of Gavin James. James beaten to the ball by Broadbent. Flood will chase him down on that far hand side. Flood just keeps him in, but Broadbent plays the ball looking for Martin, only as far as Fraser. Fraser's header in towards Warren Harris. Harris wins a free kick. Good afternoon to Manuel Kings, who's listening in, as Slough with a free kick on the halfway line inside the centre circle here. And are they heading for another 3 points at Holloways Park? 7 points in those first 3 games that we played here early in the season, and now with this 3-2 lead. It's Fraser with the free kick into the box. Find Flood. Comes off him. Headed away by Hayes. Only as far as Warren Harris. Harris's clearance hits Martin, and Martin's just scooped that ball high. It's not the best of clearances there by the Hayes number 7, but he's cleared it. It's a throw though to Slough, and Slough just waiting for a ball. There's a little kid's just throwing the ball back. That's why you can't book him for time wasting referee. Slough with this throw 10 yards inside the Hayes&Yeading half. Fraser with the throw, trying to find James. James flicks the ball on. It hits a Hayes&Yeading defender, and then cleared by Broadbent, trying to find the run of Vice, headed away by Nisbet, comes through to Stonehouse, opens his body, touches it up towards Putman. Putman holds the ball up with Smith on his back. Putman loses the ball, it breaks into the centre. Togwell tries to win it back, but it's won by Vice, and then the ball through from Kearney, trying to find Cole Brown. Brown does well, keeps it in, and then heads it off Stonehouse. Good play there by Brown, and he's won a throw for Hayes&Yeading. That looks like Hayes&Yeading looking to make their third substitution. I think they're just going to let this attack go before they make that substitution. It's Smith with the throw. Throws it in here looking for Ryan Hope. Laid off to Connor Toomey, who shoots, and unfortunately he's only in danger of hitting the corner flag. And we will see a substitution, the third and final substitution for Hayes&Yeading. Coming off is Melando Martin. And coming on is, I think that's 14, is Adam Everett. That substitution on 75 minutes. There, so that's that substitution. So Hayes&Yeading have used up all their substitutes now. And it is confirmation that Adam Everett is the player coming on. Manuel Kings is listening in Portugal. Now, see, I think that's what we should all do. We should all be in Portugal listening. If we could get someone else to do this, I'm going to come over and we'll all spend Christmas in Portugal. I think that's the way to do it. Scott with this goal kick for Slough. Long ball. It's going to be headed clear by Broadbent. Only comes into the centre to Stonehouse. Stonehouse lofts the ball forwards. Adebayo in that left back position clears. Togwell rises high to head the ball forwards. Flood just pushes Adebayo there as he wins the ball. And it's a free kick to Hayes&Yeading. Stephen Roach, I think he's going to be peddling his daughter out to... that sounds really bad. Sorry, Stephen. What I meant was to say was you'll be phoning up lottery syndicates and saying my daughter can pick the winning numbers. Ball's here with Brown. He loses it in the centre of the pitch inside the Slough half. Comes through to Putman. Putman just slips but retains the ball. Back towards Stonehouse. Stonehouse slips. Plays the ball forwards. Only as far as Broadbent. Broadbent robbed of the ball by Gavin James. James trying to win the ball back, but won back in the end by Everett. Everett plays it into the centre to Toomey. Toomey being forced wide by Warren Harris. Cuts back inside. Good play there by Toomey. Plays the ball forwards. Headed clear by Fraser in towards Warren Harris. Harris ball towards Togwell. Played forwards, but Gavin James had come too deep and Hayes&Yeading have the ball back. Long ball played here. Looking for Brown on this near hand style. Brown takes it on his chest, but didn't have proper control. Just forced away from the goal by Stonehouse. Brown still with the ball in this right wing position. Tries to come through. Putman comes across and helps clear. It's come through to Smith. Back out to Ryan Hope. Hope with a cross in there, but it's still too close to the Slough goalkeeper Mark Scott, and he just catches that one and then takes his time with the ball. 13 minutes left here. Hayes&Yeading 2, Slough Town 3 is the current score. Mitchell Weiss just standing in front of Mark Scott as he looks to try and take this goal kick aimed towards Flood. Flood being manhandled there by Adebayo, who's given away a free kick and looks at the referee with disgust to say as if it's like 6 of one and half a dozen of the other. And it's a free kick to Slough. And we'll still see it's going to be Putman standing over. This one a bit far away. It's 40 yards away from the Slough goal. And just wait for the referee just to blow the whistle. Putman to take this free kick for Slough. Putman just whips that ball. It's a great switch on by Jones, and what a clearance that is by Smith. The ball's still on the edge of the area. It comes through to Warren Harris. Dinks the ball forwards, but Bowness grabs it at the second. What a clearance that was by Jack Smith, the right back for Hayes&Yeading. Just cleared it off the line with his wrong foot from the Gavin James flick on. Ball played forwards. Vice out jumps and ball comes back to Broadbent inside his own half in the centre circle, being forced wide by a couple of Slough players. Dunn trying to win the ball back. Broadbent keeps hold of it. Ball played forwards here looking for Vice. Vice in the foot race here with Hollis. Oh, Vice gets past him and keeps running down the sideline. Still with it. Oh, he's hit it with too much pace and Brown can't get a touch to it. And Vice done really well to get that ball there. And then when he got into the dangerous position, he's hit it with so much power that there's no way that Brown could get it. It was behind his head. And it's a throw to Slough here just by their own 18-yard line. Stonehouse will take this throw. Every player inside the Slough half apart from the Hayes&Yeading goalkeeper. Stonehouse will take this throw for the Rebels. Sometime soon. It just throws it in. Flood comes back and heads the ball into the centre. It'll come through to Fraser. Fraser just lands on his head. Ball comes through to Kearney. Leaves it for Ryan Hope. Hope spreads it to Adebayo. Adebayo bringing the ball forwards inside the Slough half. Just cuts back, turns inside, tries to play a ball in, and Slough will win the ball back through James. But won by Broadbent. Broadbent still running with the ball. Does well as a centre back, but then hits it straight at Sean Fraser. It's out off Fraser for a throw. Adebayo just been urged to take it quickly by Hayes&Yeading. Ball up in towards Ryan Hope. Hold up by Mitchell Kearney. Sorry, my fault there. It was held up by Kearney. He's won a free kick. About 25 yards, maybe a bit closer than 25 yards away from goal. Yeah, about 23 yards away from goal. Again, on the corner of the box. And again, Ryan Hope is the player that stands over this free kick for Hayes&Yeading. So Hayes 2, Slough 3. We're into the final 10 minutes of what's been a strange game here at Holloways Park. Really has been a tale of two halves. But Ryan Hope with this free kick goes deep, and it's seen well by Lee Togwell. Just holds off Cole Brown. It's gone past the post. It's a goal kick for Slough, and Slough just wasting a little bit of time with Togwell just bringing the ball forwards, and Mark Scott will pick it up and jog into his position to take it. Slough fans a little bit quiet now behind that goal. They just need to raise their voices a little bit for these final 10 minutes, just to act as that 12th man to get the Rebels over the line. As Scott takes this goal kick, aims towards Flood. Flood beaten to the ball by Broadbent, but Slough win the ball back, trying to find Warren Harris. Harris first to the ball, and he just got caught there by Adebayi, and it's a free kick. And is it going to be a yellow card? I think the referee just going to give a talking to Adebayi there. I think it wasn't a 50-50 ball. I think Warren Harris was always going to be first to it, and Adebayi just going to, good refereeing here by Mr. Carmichael, the referee, just giving Adebayi a talking to. There's not been a really bad tackle in this game. It's actually been quite a well played and good contested derby with some good goals in it. And Adebayi just gets a talking to there from the referee, and it's a free kick to Slough. And again, Lewis Putman will take this free kick. It's about 40 yards away from goal. And Slough just leave several players back. Nisbet is the only one from the back four up for this free kick, as Putman again plays it in good. It's well headed away by Adebayi. The ball played across, it comes through to Brown. Brown flicks the ball up high in the air. Underneath it, is Ryan Hope. It hits him on the knee and it's come off him. It's a throw to Slough halfway inside the Hayes&Yeading half. I got less than 8 minutes plus whatever the referee adds on is all there is left. Slough will go into second position here if they game score stays like this. It's going to be Stonehouse with the throw. Just a quick throw in towards Putman. Back towards Stonehouse. To Putman. Back towards Stonehouse. There's so many people there I can't see. Slough had the ball with James. Back out towards Stonehouse, but he can't control it. It's a throw to Hayes&Yeading deep inside their own half. Slough just trying to pin them in. There's Hayes just being told to go back a few yards, and the referee again telling Smith to go back to the right position. Smith with this long throw, and in fact I think the referee's had enough. He's actually said it's a throw now to Slough. So I'm not sure if you can do that. I thought you could only do that if it was a foul throw, but definitely didn't look a foul throw. But it is now a throw to Slough, and it's deep inside the Hayes&Yeading half. And they're going to leave it for Stonehouse. Stonehouse takes it quickly. And then the referee's now just turned around and said it's a throw to Hayes&Yeading. If he wants, he could do this all day and it'll just eat the time up. Ball's with Ryan Hope. Plays it across his 18-yard box to Adebayi. Adebayi chased down here by Flood, but Adebayi just tries to run through a Flood's adjudged to have fouled. And is he going to get a yellow card? I think he is. And Chris Flood will be the first player to get a yellow card in the game on 84 minutes. So my maths isn't very good today. 84 minutes for that yellow card to come for persistent fouling more than anything else. Free kick for Hayes&Yeading, taken quickly, looking for Vice, out jumped there by Nisbet, then Fraser bravely goes in to win it, up towards Gavin James, takes it on his chest, but Hayes&Yeading win the ball back. Here, ball's here with Broadbent, trying to find the run of Cole, and Mark Scott comes out to the edge of his area and dives on it just before Cole Brown can get there, and just slows the game down. Vice is just standing in front of Mark Scott, just trying to make him force his kick wide. A long kick here by Scott, comes through to Gavin James, beaten to the ball. It will come out here to Simon Dunn. Simon Dunn does well, plays it in towards Fraser. Fraser in towards Flood. Flood trying to release the ball back out, but Slough try and win the ball back on the far hand side. And Slough do win a free kick there. Some good play there by Warren Harris, it was in the end. It's a free kick to Slough just inside their own half. And they'll just waste a little bit of time while they take this free kick. And it's right on the halfway line as this free kick. As it comes over. Very dark here now at Holloways Park. Fraser with this free kick for Slough. Again, plays the ball deep into the box. It's flicked on by Broadbent. Comes out here to Ryan Hope. Hope towards Brown. Brown And his ball comes up to Vice. Vice does really well, trying to feed Cole Brown in on this near hand side. It's Putman running back, of all people, to defend, and it comes through to Hollis. Hollis clips the ball forwards, trying to find James. Surely pushing the back there by, and James has. Let's just say he's. I don't know if you what part of his anatomy you'd say, but it's his bum cheek. I think he's just pulled his bum cheek. Not literally. I think he's just, as Smith's gone into him, he's just caught him in the bottom of the back. But it does look like he's given himself a wedgie, to be honest. Stonehouse. Connor Toomey's just been named the Hayes&Yeading man of the match, but that's a bit strange. I would have given it to Mitchell Weiss myself if I was a Hayes&Yeading player. Ball's with on the far hand side with Kearney, just robbed by Warren Harris. Then flicks out to Addy B with some space to run down that far hand side. Warren Harris defending as well as and then Addy B's just barged into. That is terrible, referee. He's just barged into Sean Fraser, and then Fraser goes down. Then Adebayo goes down and he's given a free kick. It should have been a free kick to Slough, to be honest, but there you go. What can you say? As Gherkin, Gockman, Nathan Smart and Harrison Gilks just make their way round. It's a free kick to Hayes&Yeading. We are into the final 3 and a bit minutes. Ryan Hope with this free kick on the far hand side. It's about 10 yards away from the corner flag, but a couple of yards away from the sideline. Plays the ball into box. Lots of people going down. Slough with a header there, and Slough have headed it wide, but the referee has given a foul, and I just can't see who it is that's down for Slough at the moment. Was it Guy Hollis? No, it was Chris Flood, actually, who went down there defending from Darren Locke. Darren Locke punching the ground in annoyance of the fact that the referee had given a free kick against him. Michael Kelly's listening. We've got, I reckon, about 2.5 minutes plus whatever the referee adds on. So Hayes 2, Slough 3 with about 2.5 minutes left of the game. It's a goal kick or free kick to Slough inside the 6-yard box, taken by Scott. Clear push in the back. That's stupid defending by the Hayes&Yeading captain. And I'm surprised he's not getting a yellow card for dissent there, because it's a clear push in the back. There can be no denying of it, and then he argues with the referee in his face that it shouldn't have been a free kick, but clearly a free kick. I don't think anyone could dispute that. It's a free kick to Slough. Nisbet will take it. It's just about 7 or 8 yards inside the Hayes&Yeading half. Nisbet is who takes this free kick, trying to find Warren Harris. Jumps in well. And then the referee says that's a foul, and it's free kick to Hayes&Yeading inside their penalty area. It's funny, as soon as you say that the referee's had a good game, he starts blowing up for anything. Long ball forward, headed away by Fraser, won by Kearney in the centre. Togwell with the next header, and a wild boot there. Mitchell Weiss wins it. Togwell, some Dunlem flicks the ball on, and there's a chance here. Flood could be. He's just been pushed to the side by Adebayo. Flood trying to run with the ball, still got the ball at his feet. Gets back up, still holds it up. Well, that was a strange tackle coming in there, and then Flood just loses the ball out, and the ball's played in. Only as far as though to Togwell. Togwell just with a bit of time chinks the ball out here, looking for Putman. Putman takes it first time up against Smith. He's just going to run into the corner though. I think he's in the corner. There's so many people there. Gets the ball in, comes through to Gavin James, moves back towards goal, tries to turn, gets the ball in. It's a corner for Slough from Gavin James with came off Darren Locke. So a corner to Slough. Slough will just take their time with this corner. And strangely, I thought Slough might try and take a short one and keep the ball in the corner, but they've taken a fairly short one towards Togwell. Togwell will just run into the corner, and I can't really see what's going on. Ball's with Putman out here towards Stonehouse. Stonehouse just dinks the ball back past. It's volleyed clear, but over the head of Vice. It's a throw to Slough, 10 yards inside the Hayes&Yeading half. Slough in absolutely no hurry whatsoever to take this throw. The linesman of all people is telling Slough to hurry the ball up. He's just had a word with Nisbet to say get on with it. I don't think Nisbet's too impressed with the linesman there. Throw for Stonehouse for Slough, aimed towards Flood. Flood trying to hold the ball up on that sideline, back towards Putman comes in towards Togwell. Togwell hits it straight at Hayes&Yeading player. It comes out here to Kearney. Kearney trying to dink the ball forwards to Ryan Hope, but spotted by Fraser, and Fraser plays the ball looking for the run of Gavin James on the far hand side. Gavin James will try and keep it in. He lets it run out for a throw to Hayes&Yeading. Adibaye will take it deep inside the Hayes&Yeading half. Tries to find Kearney, headed clear. Dunn just gets a foot to it. Ball's over the... Oh, there could be a chance here for Gavin James to get goalwards. He's going to try and sit out for a corner. It is a corner to Slough on the far hand side. We have played 50 seconds of added time. It's whatever the referee, Mr. Carmichael, adds on. But Slough have a corner on the far hand side. I would guess they're going to try and play a short one, but there's only Gavin James in the box, so if they are playing, he's heavily unmarked because he's up against 5 defenders. Slough do play a short one into the box. Slough just keeping it in by the corner flag. Comes off a Hayes&Yeading player. It's now a throw to Slough. Minute and a half played here of extra time. How much will the referee add on? Slough with this throw in right by the corner flag. Taken towards Warren Harris. Harris runs straight into that corner area to try and hold the ball up. Hayes&Yeading trying to win it. Warren Harris, superb strength. Still with the ball at his feet. Comes through, it's cleared by Hayes&Yeading, only as far as Fraser. And then Fraser is just bundled to the ground there by Connor Toomey. And it's a free kick to Slough. And there's a woman who's just not far from our commentary. She's literally, I think her toes are so cold. She's doing a little tippy toe dance just to keep her feet warm. It's a free kick to Slough. Slough will take it with Putman. Putman in towards Flood, into the corner. Again, they're just on that far hand side, just trying to hold the ball up, trying to eat a little bit of time out. Ball comes off Putman in the end, and it's a throw to Hayes&Yeading. And make it 2 minutes and 20 seconds. Slough try and win the ball back. Comes through, and Putman does win it back. As far as Stonehouse. Stonehouse just whacks the ball forwards to Flood, who's in a right wing position, plays it in, trying to dink the ball forwards, but it's out of play. It's a throw to Hayes&Yeading. How long is the referee going to add on? 2.5 minutes so far. It's a throw with Adibaye on that far hand side, trying to find Brown. It's come through in the end on Slough with it back with Hollis. Hollis chips the ball forwards, trying to find Putman. Volleyed clear though by Locke, and Slough will just let it go out of play for a throw by the home dugout. They're in absolutely no hurry whatsoever to take this throw. We've played 3 minutes of added time. How long will the referee add on? There's I think there's an injury. The referee and linesman are just chatting. I'm not sure if the linesman has seen something. He's just going to come over and chat too. I don't even know what he's doing here. On the far hand side. He's given a drop ball. He can't have done. No one actually knows what the referee's doing. I don't know what he's doing. I'm not sure, but I think that the Hayes&Yeading manager touched the ball and the ball hadn't gone out of play. And it is a... That's it, the full-time whistle. So whatever it was a pointless thing. Slough have come back from 2-0 down, where they've done really well in the second half, although Hayes&Yeading did have that goal disallowed. The first 45 minutes here at Holloways Park, there was only one team that was in it, and that was Hayes&Yeading. They were by far the better side, deservedly 2 goals up. And then in the second half, 2 quick goals by the Rebels. The first one coming from Mark Nisbet on 46 minutes, and then by Gavin James. And then the third goal, it was by, a second goal by Sean Fraser, made it 2-2. And the Slough players are just going over to the Slough fans behind the goal to congratulate them on their support today. But Slough have come back from 2 down to win 3-2 here. They go back into second place in the league, and their next game will be at home to Chesham United on the 2nd of January. Thank you to Manuel Kings who's listening, who says thanks for the commentary. It's always a pleasure for all of you fans that can't make the games. This is what we do it for, and I would like to dedicate this game to Mick Newton, who was the MyFC chairman, who passed away just before Christmas. His funeral was just before Christmas, and Rebels Radio is his legacy, so dedicate this to Mick, who passed away just before Christmas. So the next game for Slough is on the 2nd of January. Make sure that if you're not there, you're listening here, as Slough will look to try and get 2017 back to start with the way that they ended 2016 with a victory. And we wish everyone a good new year. Eat, drink and be merry, because obviously you don't have to come out on the 1st of January. So you've got a day extra to recover from your hangovers. And enjoy yourselves. Arbour Park, just remember, just be careful, there should be a larger than expected crowd at Arbour Park, so please be aware of any parking changes if you are planning on coming to the ground. My thanks to Gareth Kemp and Stephen Roach for listening, and wish everyone a happy new year. I'm off to get a cup of tea and find my toes. Until then, thank you all very much, and we'll speak to you soon. Bye bye.